6. Hello there. How's it going, fam? Look what I just found. That's right, fam. Just found this. Should we try it out? Oh, wow. Less than 5 ingredients with a scan me for a free airdrop. Here's the magic part, fam. Got it right here. Give it a go. Whew. That was amazing. Refreshing. All the salts you need in your electrolyte premix. Definitely check out Crypto Rush now. It even has a bonus creatine. That's right, got to build those strong muscles, help with all that muscle recovery. Crypto Rush gives you the rush that you need to propel yourself throughout the day. Crypto Fam Radio, I'm your host Mountain Dew. Let's go get some Crypto Rush now.
I have so much to say.
I can hear you.
You can't?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
I think so. Okay, do you want the bed as the backdrop? Because that's what's going to be on YouTube. Are you cool with that?
I don't really care. I mean, I
Awesome.
always feel like the fake backdrops are weird.
They are. That's why I tried to customize mine. I don't know if you see that. I was like,
know.
oh, I want
mean,
them
sadly, like, I mean, I guess I could be in her living room, but her whole place is kind of chaotic. So it's, I don't know. This feels like the simplest backdrop, even because there's like neutral tones at least.
Definitely. It is a bit bright over on the left side. If you don't mind maybe shutting down the curtains or the window, closing the curtains. I don't know. It's just so bright on that corner of the screen. Or just move the screen. There we go. That's better. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Whatever works for you. Fiona, I know you have so much to say. Thank you so much for coming on the 111 podcast. This means the world to me. You know, this isn't a traditional crypto podcast, right? This is a podcast for everyone. And this isn't just your story, right? This is not just your story, but it's the stories, the connections, the humans that you have made contact with over the years, compounding and pressing on you to be the best version of yourself today. So I absolutely love that.
Absolutely. And we'd be remiss to not include canines.
Oh my gosh, please introduce him or her and her name. And
this is Lucy. She's an 11-year-old like street mutt de la calle. De la calle de California.
All the way from Cali? Are you for real?
Yeah, she, rescue organizations brought her and a bunch of other dogs from a kill shelter to be adopted, and she was being fostered, and I met her through her foster mom, and then I adopted her. I was looking for a dog at that time, and she just captured my heart. I mean, and she runs the show. I'm an employee.
Yeah, she does. My cat Stella is the same way. I got her over COVID.
Wait, where are you based right now?
Currently, I'm in Florida with the fam.
Nice.
I'm getting ready to gear up my digital nomad life again. And I'm prepping for Vegas in a few months.
Yeah. I need to connect you with sorry, I know you started recording, but
no, you're good.
I need to connect you with a really good crypto friend of mine who lives in Vegas.
I would absolutely love that. We can definitely cook it up later after the interview.
There's a lot of people, actually. There's a big community there.
Oh, really? Like a crypto community? I would assume there's a lot of crypto conferences that happen in Vegas.
Well, like also the laws in Nevada are very favorable. I mean, they are in Florida, but
they are
not so good.
I've heard about New York.
I'm establishing residency in another state. Well, South Dakota for nomad.
South Dakota? Oh my gosh. Can you tell me a little bit about that? And let's get into your story a little bit. Why don't you introduce yourself, Fiona, and tell me a little bit about yourself and what's up with South Dakota? Thank you.
All right, sure. So my name is Fiona Aboud. I am Brazilian American. I've been a social impact artist in many different forms for the past 25 years. And I've done projects all over the world, and I've had the opportunity to meet people from all walks of life, and it's been incredible. And one of the things that I'm most excited about is what this technology, what blockchain technology allows for in terms of distributing money globally. So I'm primarily a photographer, and but when I got into this space during the pandemic in 2020, 2021, I started more of a multimedia kind of also technology practice where I not only make pieces that I create with my camera, but they're also kind of like layered. I do some digital stuff. And now I've been coding with AI, with my AI assistant,
So cool.
Chat GPT or Geppetto.
There you go.
Geppetto, as I call him or her.
Great.
I don't know.
Great.
I say that they're non-binary because
Ooh, I'll take a new one.
I mean, it's code, right? It's
I
just
know. Yeah,
but
I feel you.
I feel like right now, like right at this moment, right after this amazing ETH Denver conference that we met at, we are at such an exciting turning point, not only for, blockchain and AI, but just for humanity. Like there are endless opportunities of things that can be done to like alter millions and millions of lives. We just have to put the pieces together correctly, which
right.
I don't know, we'll see. And then there's regulation, which is a whole other issue. But
Right.
yeah, so I'm primarily an artist, but I also think about the world in a larger kind of communal way. I'm, you know, I'm a big believer that like we shouldn't have world poverty. World poverty shouldn't exist. Like we have the tech, we have the money, period. But there's human greed. There's, people's egos. There's lack of knowledge, lack of awareness. And the US, we're so sheltered to like, we don't think about like what's going on in Sudan, like what's going on in rural Brazil. Like, I know, where is your family from originally?
Originally from Florida, actually.
Okay.
Panhandle near Pensacola.
Okay. But yeah, so it's an exciting time, and I'm very optimistic because that's just my personality. But
I love
there
that.
are moments where I'm like, what the hell?
I know.
Like when crypto scams like happen, like at this conference, I learned that 50% of the GDP of Myanmar and Cambodia are crypto romance scams.
No.
So like, what's up with that?
What?
Like, why are we so lonely? Like, why are we so lonely?
Crypto romance scams? You got to break that down. I had no idea about this scam, Fiona. Please tell me more.
So, well,
tell me more.
I mean, I went to a security conference at ETH Denver.
Okay.
And this one's shameless.
She is. She loves it.
And yeah, so I mean, crypto scams have become it's a $7 billion industry.
Right. That's
so
huge.
And most of the people perpetuating them are victims of sex trafficking. Like they're kidnapped as, young women in whatever country, brought to like these compounds in Myanmar and Cambodia.
Right.
They establish relationships with lonely men online. And after like 6 months of texting, videoing, whatever, they're like, hey, can you send $20,000 to this crypto address? Or maybe they put it as like an investment thing. And it's a fake DEX. It's a fake, thing. And the person sends the money and then poof, that person.
They're gone.
Which is so wild with all the information that is still going on. And obviously it's hard to get real numbers because if I was scammed in that way, I would not tell anybody. I would like take that shit to my grave.
Right.
So yeah. So, I mean, listen, this is one of the reasons why I think a lot of people have trouble taking crypto seriously and not. I hate when it's the butt of jokes, but because I'm like, but like, you don't get it. Like, so I created an art piece in 2023. I called it Flamingo with Love. It was an AR sculpture, reality sculpture where, you put your phone, you can put the sculpture anywhere. And I sold it as an NFT. And in the code of that NFT, that non-fungible token, was a split contract saying for everyone sold, I did 50% distribution to a very small community in Brazil that is just underserved for mostly the fact that it's very rural and people were able to collect that money directly on their phones. So to put this in a crazy perspective, you know, perhaps they don't have access to consistent electricity, consistent clean water, but they have phones and they're transacting using the Celo, which is an Ethereum virtual, an Ethereum layer 2. I'm trying to keep this in very simple terms. So
Thank you.
basically, it's a cheaper blockchain than Ethereum. Ethereum has very high gas, which makes it a very secure blockchain. But Celo migrated to this Ethereum kind of layer 2 to add to the ecosystem to be able to benefit from all of the things being built on Ethereum. And yeah, this blockchain has stable coins all over the developing world.
Wow.
And is like, I've heard, I've never been to Kenya, but I've heard that in Kenya, they use it constantly, and it's a huge part of their economy now. And we're not seeing it here, but in countries where, you know, you don't trust the government, I mean, we're getting, where you don't trust the government, you know, your currency is completely devalued. You have this digital stable coin that allows you to transact quickly, cheaply. You have the phone. So yeah, so that I use that art piece as like a proof of concept. Like, look what we can do. Like, look at this amazing technology. I created a physical sculpture to like help spread the message, and I schlepped that physical sculpture everywhere. I brought it to Miami for Art Basel. I brought it to Venice for the Venice Biennale, and I brought it to Denver last year. And yeah, and so I do plan on continuing these projects that show off the power of blockchain, the power of blockchain to essentially help eliminate poverty globally, which just saying that gives me chills. But it's like, how do we structure things in our society, in our payment system to help make that a reality? That's the hard part. But for now, I'm taking a deep dive into these new AI agent bots like Clawbot, like Claw Code, like there's hundreds of them, it feels like, and seeing like how can they benefit people, how can they make people's lives better? Because even though we have this tech, I feel like people still have to deal raising their kids, taking care of their parents, you know, taking care of the bills, paying the cell phone, the gas, whatever it may be. And life still has its challenges, regardless of the fact that I'm speaking to you on a, you know, my iPad, my little black, like, huge phone.
That's awesome. Isn't this awesome? Technology is great. Right?
I know it is great.
Technology
and yet it can do
cool.
so much more for us. And we've like just hit like the tip of the iceberg. Is that the analogy? And I'm very hopeful for the future. I just feel like governments need to get out of the way. The issue is, again, this side of security, scams, like adoption is still challenging for people. So people feel, you know, people want to feel safe. You know, they don't want to feel like they're going to get hacked and their whole investment, their whole life's investment is going to go out into the ether. So it's this like, this tension, right? Of like this amazing tech. It's so exciting to do so much, but yet it's still so new, and it's not there quite yet for grandma. Like, is grandma gonna be on board? Like, with your grandma, or I don't know. She's
I think my grandma just finally got on Facebook.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Hey, 30 years too late, or whatever. Yeah, 30 years too late, but good for her. Good for her.
I always think, Fiona, it's a generational problem.
It's true.
That's what it is.
And it's a mindset problem too. I mean, new things are hard. Like, my mother's aging.
It's true.
And I tell her every day, I'm like, you have to do hard things with your brain.
You do.
I mean, at these hackathons, I'm probably double the age of most people participating. But I don't care. I just don't care. And I'm like, I'm learning this. I want to teach this to people, especially women, because adoption for women is less, because we're less likely to take risks in the same way that men do.
I've heard.
And, you know, like, so, you know, like crypto, like, like men running like their Clawbot to like do trades and like scrape Twitter for like information on this coin or this stock and like short sell and like all these complicated like crypto. Like, oh my God, this one guy was telling me this one thing and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm gonna look into that. Like,
it just like go over your head. You're like,
yeah,
oh my
it's
gosh.
like
So
I
much.
think like the simplest thing, if
Yeah.
I were telling someone why they should get into crypto, I would tell them open a Coinbase account, deposit just cash, convert it to USDC, and earn 3.5%. It's stable. It's backed by Coinbase, which is the largest, I think, one of the largest exchanges in the world. And all of their USDC is backed by real dollars. So you're earning, how much does the bank give you? Like 1%, less than 1%? I don't even know.
I don't know. Depends on your savings account, but yeah.
You put in whatever money you have sitting in dollars in your bank account. And if you need that money, you can then just transfer it back to your bank account. I think it's instant. Or, you know, whatever, keep a certain amount in your bank account. And you're earning without even thinking about it, 3.5%. You don't need to take the risks. You don't need to weather the ups and downs of Bitcoin or Ethereum. Which, you know, I joke that it's like having like a lover with, or like a boyfriend or girlfriend with like a personality disorder. One day they're like, hi, what's up, how's it going? And the next day they're like, oh my God, I'm so depressed. Like, it's like, okay, Bitcoin, chill out already, girl. Like, it's fine. We're gonna be fine.
I know the markets, right? Volatility, but with stable coins, I think it's making a lot more people feel safer, right? More secure when they put their money into any kind of crypto, any kind of blockchain, central exchange, or even a DeFi wallet. You know, like these DeFi wallets have its use cases as well. One I highly recommend is Central Exchange. Another one is crypto.com. So I love that one. I've had some pretty bad experience with Coinbase on a personal level, but on crypto.com, oh my gosh, it's where it's the alpha is at. I highly recommend. It's a central exchange. It's FDIC insured as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's backed. Yes, backed by the banks. It's really. I'll send my referral.
Is to some extent. I feel like there's a caveat there. I feel like there's a caveat because it can't be every coin. Crypto.com is not legal in New York, actually. You cannot use it in New York.
Really?
New York
that amazes
State
me.
has some of the strictest crypto laws in the country.
Wow.
And
that
it makes
sucks.
It very hard. I think it's probably because of Wall Street, but I'm not going to say too much because I don't want anyone to come after me.
No, you're good. But I was just seeing on the news, crypto.com just made a deal with the Trump administration.
Amazing.
Like, I know. Like they're doing moves
and seeing the SEC at Ethereum conference in Denver.
Right.
And it was so funny. The guy I was with, he kept asking his AI, who is this guy? And it didn't have like recent information that he's the chairman. I kept telling him, he's the chairman of the SEC, like the guy, like who replaced Gary Gensler, who was notoriously anti-crypto. And I mean, whatever your opinions about Trump, his role in crypto will hopefully be legendary. And it will, you know, I know there's conflict about him enriching himself with his coin and deals with Saudi Arabia investing in his crypto company. But the fact remains, it is the easiest way to send money around the world. Like in Denver, for instance, I had Uber guys from Ethiopia, from Sudan, from Dominican Republic, and I asked all of them, how do you send money home? And all of them said, I use this service. It charges between 1% and 6%, depending how much money I send. And I'm just like, oh my God, crypto is going to wipe that off the planet in I don't know how many years, but like, and for free, basically. I mean, okay, if you use like if you use Ethereum, you're gonna have to pay gas, but with all these layer twos, you don't have to. It's like cents. Like Celo is like cents, like 0.0 whatever cent per transaction, and it's fast. It happens like that. I'm doing a hackathon tonight for Monad, which is another ETH, and it's again like super fast, and it's not even pennies. So
I love that. So
Yeah,
you're getting into hackathons, or are you a dev yourself, or you just vibe code, or tell me a little bit about that.
I like to say I have a very smart team, a agentic team.
There you go. I like
I
that.
have my UX designer, I have my coder.
Oh,
I'm
so
kind of like the founder.
oh, got you. Got
But
all
yeah,
your AIs.
I find engaging with this technology at a hackathon, even though I don't have all of the knowledge, it allows me to like really get to know the tech. And once I really know the tech, I can make more
Mm,
art kind of, I don't want to say based on the tech, but using the tech in creative ways. And perhaps I'll build out this project that I did for ETH Denver, and that I'm continuing it tonight at this other hackathon. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just like a way to like keep involved and to like really deep dive and to like understand the components of an application, and to understand now, Clawbot, which has like exploded like in AI, just this idea of like, I have a little guy in my computer, and like he's being like, "Oh, hey, you got a meeting today at 10. You got this to do at 11." And while you're doing that, I'm going to put together some research on this project you're working on. And
nice.
oh, I don't have this set up for myself yet, but the possibility is there. Oh,
Hmm.
you need to book a flight to Mexico? Let me go find the cheapest flight. I'll book it for you and send you the email. It's like having a free assistant to do all the tasks that are on your list that you might put off or forget, or and we're just in the beginning of this. And is it ready for grandma? No, absolutely not.
No.
Is it even ready for us? There are so many security risks still.
Right.
And then there's all these like doomsday stories. Like I was reading one yesterday of
Oh
this
no.
woman
Tell
that
me.
set up she works for like Meta or something like that, and in
Mm,
like secure or something like crazy that she let this happen. She
hmm.
deployed, so just for people that don't know, so Clawbot was founded by this guy, I'm forgetting his name, but he basically wanted to code an assistant for himself.
Hmm.
So he created this agentic AI who is basically like a free range, like you don't need to you can prompt him or her, they, whatever, and they'll
Sure.
do your bidding for you. And you can do anything like um connect it to your email, connect it to your desktop. You can just connect it to Telegram for you to message it. It's very powerful technology, but it's also given a lot of permissions, and it's not perfect. So
Mm,
sometimes it can run amok. And that's what happened to this woman. She let it go through her email and say archive or delete.
hmm.
And the bot just deleted all her personal email.
No,
Which is
I've heard this
funny because
before.
like
Yeah.
I don't really have personal emails anymore. I just have texts. Like I just
Really?
text people. Like email to me is like the spam email, or like my plain information, or like I need to pay a bill or something.
Right, right. But you still check your email every day, right?
I do, but I don't really email friends. Like I'm not like, hey, how are you doing? Like I'll text them.
What about like business partners or something, or like other fellow artists, or you just do it through social media?
Telegram,
Or
Slack. I
TG?
don't really, well,
Okay.
for projects I've
Yeah,
used
projects.
or
Slack. Okay.
Asana.
Okay.
Asana.
Asana. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, email is like, I don't know. Yeah, I
What
don't like
about,
the way it
yeah,
like I'm missing things, and
I
there's so
assume,
much spam that goes. It's not really productive for me to
I
use.
know you got to wade through all that spam and everything. And I assume you have a Gmail, correct? Or is it a different email?
Email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gmail has always been Gmail. I don't think they've ever been through any kind of updates. I know they try to do the promotion photo or folder. They separate the folders for you. They try to help you a little bit, but it hasn't really been updated in like over 10 years. And it's like, this is one of the problems I'm facing, because I come out with a weekly newsletter, right, with Crypto Fam. And so I automatically want to know, does that newsletter end up in your unread, in your inbox? Does it go to your promo? It's like, because I
Yeah.
need to know that, because I'm the one writing this weekly newsletter to keep you up to date on what we're doing over at Crypto Fam. So it's good that you you know, have that sense of like, you still check your email. That's great because I'm going to add you to the newsletter. But at the same time, like, where do you end up, you know, because I want to make sure that you're getting what I'm sending. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And, you know, as an artist, I used to send promotional emails. And after a point, I kind of stopped and I sent in-person postcards because it just sort of felt like it was getting thrown out into people's junk and nobody was opening. In the beginning, it was great. And I got a lot of work from it. But you know, people were just evolving so quickly in the way that we did. And
it's true.
We're really living in this crazy world, and it's exciting. And it's also terrifying. There was like part of me during this security conference that I was like, okay, let's just move to the woods, get a cabin, and like start homesteading and like having my own like chickens and cows.
That's a simpler
like,
life, isn't it?
Like,
that sounds so nice.
Computers, you know, like
I could totally see you doing that, by the way, Fiona.
I probably
see you. You could pull that off.
Months, but I probably could maybe do it. We'll see. The problem is like I want to be at like the nexus of like allowing this push for really solving problems that we should have solved 50 years ago. Right. That like we should have figured out as humanity. Like, why are people still living on under $2 a day? Why are kids still hungry? Why are women still dying in childbirth? Like, I have a flat iPad screen looking at me talking to you and floor. Like, why? Like, there is no reason for these basic ass human misery problems that people experience, and like we don't see it because we're in a bubble. We're in so many bubbles right now, and it's part of my job as a podcast host too, to pop those bubbles and to you know, as a journalist, you know, my background's in journalism and PR. Part of a journalist's mission is to go out and get the story, right? I'm constantly having to talk to new people in different bubbles and assess and distill and then communicate that message back to my audience, you know, and this is why we're doing what we're doing here, Fiona. So I am just so glad, so grateful that you're here. And I want you to share with me a little bit about your story as a digital nomad. You know, how did you get started doing that? You know, like, it sounds like you're okay being displaced ever so often because we're always on this sense of, you know, an adventure, right? This process, we're always in process. So walk me through a little bit about how you got started on your digital nomad experience, and tell me what's in store for you in the next 3 to 6 months. Sure. So I just really started. So I lived in New York for 30 years. I went to school here. I got married here. I had kids here. I got divorced here. Oh my God. I you know, my kids are in college. They're both superstars. Like, I could not be happier. They're both like mentally well adjusted. Like, one of them is YouTube basketball, the other one's studying computer science. Love it. I'm super proud mama. And like, this is my moment. Like, I'm trying to help my mom out, kind of like be like a person that's like, hey, like, maybe you could change this, maybe let's do this, like, and she's making really good progress. So I always pop back in here to like check on her. But really, ETH Denver was like my first kind of like, I gave up my lease at the end of January, which is, for a word of advice, never move in the winter in New York City. It just, the way the cookie crumbled, like I feel like it took my kids like a semester to really get like established. And then I was just like, you know what? I don't need, like, I had my whole all 25 years of art making in that studio and that place. And I was just like, I don't need this anymore. I put everything in storage and I need to organize it a little bit more, but you know, no judgment. I made it work. I have like, we really don't need that much, you know, laptop, iPad, iPhone, like 2-3 pairs of pants, 2 dresses, bathing suit, underwear, socks, bra, whatever. And that's it. And the sneakers, like maybe a nice pair of shoes or like a comfy whatever. That is it. And that's pretty much what I have at my mom's. I have a little bit more because like 2 suitcases, let's say. And then I have this fluff ball, this accessory. And I haven't quite figured out how to travel with her. But my
Really?
plan is, well, no, I haven't done it yet. Like I didn't do it in Denver because
Wow.
I stayed with friends that had cats, and they
Oh,
don't want. We don't want a
sure.
dog here. No dog.
Oh,
But
sure.
I'm going to Brazil to visit my family
Oh,
in
wow.
April with my daughter who
Okay.
hasn't been back in 10 years because of her training for basketball.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna go to Europe. So I'm gonna do a project. So the
Wow.
Venice Biennale is like the art Olympics, is how I call it.
Ooh.
And like every country has an artist, and then like the big famous artists will do like their own kind of bespoke projects all around Venice is like a crazy place that I've been several times, but it blows
Wow.
my mind every time I go back. And it's
Mhm.
very dog friendly because
Yeah,
Italians,
of course.
certo, il cane può venire a Venezia.
Oh,
Boots, we're gonna dress you up crazy and you're gonna be an art. No, but I will do a project. I always try to engage with the art world there.
yeah.
In 2019, I did a piece with a friend of mine who we did a performance trying to put attention on the migrant issue. And I forget exactly the news that was going on at that point in time, but we basically wrapped her in this red fabric. The project was called We All Bleed Red. And then I photographed her in different like iconic kind of Venice settings. And what was
Wow.
really interesting is people's interactions. Like
That's cool.
you saw some people checking on her, making sure she was okay. You
Yeah.
saw girls like just doing a selfie in front of her. You saw we
Wow.
got in trouble with the Venice police just a few times.
Really?
We didn't get
Why? What happened?
well because it's like they want to control. They don't want things to get out of control, especially during the Biennale. And I think this year I'm going to do a project about women's maternal health.
Ooh.
Again, with a performance piece. And this time I'll make it an NFT. I didn't know about NFTs in 2019. So
Oh.
this time I'll make it an NFT. And I want to support some kind of global women's maternal health initiative because, like women have babies and our women are dying from it. And it's
Yeah,
unnecessary. It's totally
yeah,
unnecessary.
it is.
And it's we have the technology, we have the money, and it's I don't know the exact statistics, but it's alarming and it's more than it should be. So
Yeah.
so I'm gonna do something. Last Biennale, I brought my flamingos and I spoke about them. I dragged them all around town. I
Wow.
engaged with people. It's really a chance to like engage with humans, not only in the art world, but people that live in Venice too. And since I've gone back all the time, I've made friendships with people that live there. And there's one specific part of the island where I spend more time, and like it's a very small local community. And I wanted to create a piece last time about this kind of disappearing true Venice population, but sometimes I have projects in my head that I photograph and I have it in a folder, but I never get a chance to actually produce the project. So it's just because, things move so quickly and I'll get a new idea and I'll act on it because like I've been applying to many artists. So this is another part of my nomadic journey. I've been applying to many artist residencies around the world
Ooh,
where I'm
smart.
able to work on specific projects that I pitch. So I haven't let go of my identity as an artist, but engaging with this technology and having the free space and I'm not paying New York rent anymore, which, oh my God.
So good. I've heard it's
So,
expensive.
and obviously
Crazy.
tickets are expensive, so I have to plan accordingly. And this is where the South Dakota residency comes in.
Oh, right. Share with me about that.
They have a really interesting program for digital nomads where you go, you spend one night in the state, you can go to the DMV, get a driver's license, register any vehicles that you may have. I'm gonna have a mail service that scans my mail, and if I want a package delivered there, they can send it to wherever I am in the world. And it just makes things so easy. And the laws in South Dakota are very favorable to crypto.
Good.
They're very favorable in terms of taxes.
It's nice.
Pay a very high tax.
Really?
I do have a business registered in New York, which I think I'm going to close. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean,
just move it to South Dakota, no?
Well, I think I've kind of moved on from my brand as a photographer.
Oh, I
I
see.
feel like I'm engaged in so many different projects, whether it be crypto projects, crypto blockchain, AI projects, art projects, that my identity as a photographer, even though I'll always think like one, is very different now because of how I'm interacting with all of this different, I mean, my work is more abstract. It's more based on, I would say, human connection too, which is like during it's on the blockchain. But what I try to tell artists when they think of, oh, crypto scam, NFT scam, like I'm like, no, this is a way to store your work, your archive, your hard work on the blockchain in perpetuity with code that can say, and I always attach physical pieces to NFTs because
Right.
for me, I'm very attached to the physical object. If this sells in 30, 40, 50, 100 years, it says in the code that my beneficiaries, my children, will get a 5% of that original sale price. Whereas, like, if you look on auction of all the artists that have been dead for like 100 years, their work, their estate gets nothing. So this is a revolutionary technology for artists, not just for your archive, but for the history of your legacy, for your family. Like, Jasper Johns like just sold something at auction for like hundreds of millions of dollars. His estate gets nothing. No part of that. Because there was no blockchain, and this is such a special moment for artists. And like so many of my artist friends like see all the crypto scams, see all the crypto bros, their Lambos flexing their wealth and this and that. And they're like, I want no part of that. And I get that. I want no part of that either. But the technology is the technology. You can't deny it. And it's like maybe the hype of the NFT thing has faded, but the technology hasn't changed. In fact, it's evolved even more. Now with tech, I can write my own smart contract and say, maybe I want my descendants to get 10%, 15%, 50%, whatever I want to say, it can happen. And it's just numbers. It's just code. It's code doesn't have a personality, luckily. Oh my God, can you imagine sassy smart contract? Girl, I don't give you 5%. I want to give
I feel like AI is gonna get to that
myself
point. You're gonna have a little chat bot, a little AI bot that's a bit sassier than the other one, And anyway, it's so funny. Yeah, you mentioned tech, right? And it's like that's the real utility on blockchain and crypto. It's not vaporware. We have to focus on the tech because everything we see outside on social media with these bros, like highlighting their cars or mansions, that's all marketing, right? They're all good marketers, or they think they're good, right? But we know, what's really behind that. And at the end of the day, it's those people that are willing to build community, right? That are willing to be consistent. So talk to me more about how you got into crypto and how you're able, as an artist, sell your NFTs and how you create communities through your art.
Sure. Well, I still am a big believer in the in-person community, which is how we met. There's something magical that happens when you put people together in a room. It doesn't matter who they are. And I'm a very social being, even though I spend a lot of time alone, just on the computer. I love being social. So my community mostly started on Clubhouse during the pandemic.
Wow.
And I would say about half of those artists are no longer in NFTs and crypto. And, art has always been hard to sell. Like the excitement of that NFT kind of thing. And there was excitement, some people really blew up because, like you said, they were good marketers and their stuff sold for lots and lots of money. And that was amazing to see. There was definitely a gold rush, but that's because people were just so excited. And there was also a market, right? And when there's a market, heavy trading volume, values get inflated. But, art, like even Jackson Pollock, one of the most famous artists whose work sells for hundreds of millions of dollars on auction, he would trade his dental work for paintings. Imagine that, Jackson Pollock doing that in his lifetime.
What?
I know, right?
Crazy.
And art, because it's hard to sell the your creativity, your vision, unless someone really connects with your work. Right. So personal relationships, like the last piece I sold was to a guy who works for the Arab Swiss Bank who I showed this piece I did. It's a combination of me and my great Lebanese grandmother who emigrated from Lebanon to Brazil.
Wow.
And he's Lebanese. He really connected with the work and felt an emotional attachment to it, and bought the piece. It is a long sale. Like, you know, I knew him already for a year, and you have to kind of be a squeaky wheel. And I am a big fan. I will eventually do an in-person show in New York. There's a lot of empty storefronts. I have all my work in storage. I want to produce kind of a new body of work before I do that. I make it a group show. I might, you know, I need to kind of meet the right people to make that happen. I'm a big believer in the in-person. I'm also a big believer in art, making art fashion too, like something you can wear. I feel like people are much more likely to spend like $30 to $100 on like a cool like shirt or leggings or scarf, rather than a tableau that's like maybe like thousands of dollars.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like art is a means of expression, but it's also a way of expressing, like, you know, for me, it's the social impact side. It's like, hey, look what we can do with this tech. Isn't this amazing?
Love that.
You know, and it's like the Flamingo NFT, I really marketed that heavily, and I was able to sell, I think I like a few $1,000s of those, and a lot of it went to the community. 50% was in the smart contract. And I was working with this DAO that had such a great idea, but it folded, sadly.
No.
Or AI coding became a thing. I think their costs were too high, and they had to fold. But the idea of this DAO is called Change DAO, was that you had social impact artists. Everyone would release a project, and like a certain percentage went into the treasury, and then that treasury would go to fund further artistic projects that had social impact. So a great idea. But, you know,
so like it builds on itself over time, essentially.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I love that.
So funding for projects, like one of the AI agents I want to build is an AI agent that's looking for residencies with like parameters that I specify.
Ooh, that's smart.
And even though I will still do the application myself,
right.
Finding these residencies sometimes can be tricky.
Right.
I currently pay for a service that like it lists. The problem is there's so many, and there's so many too that are like glorified vacations. Like they're like, oh, you come, you pay for your, you know, they're not really residencies. They're like hotels that are just like, we're residencies. And I want like real residencies with real kind of integration into the art world and into people that can mentor you. I never went to art school, so having that like mentor relationship is really cool.
I love that.
Having that community of other artists building stuff around you, like I said, the in-person energy is electric. Like that for me, that's what's so exciting about ETH Denver. Everyone's building their own thing. Everyone has their own knowledge.
Right.
Everyone is like working on something cool, especially where we met at Blunt Out. Like, oh
yes.
Heart.
Oh my
I
gosh.
love that community so much.
Oh, really? That's amazing. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with that community, but I knew a lot of people within that community. And so just in order to just be in the same room, you know, and feel the energy, it was so captivating, so magnifying. But talk to me more, man, there's a few points I want to come back to, but like I keep hearing social activism, right, with your art. And I really, really like that, because another artist, which I feel like I need to connect you with, Jen with One Love Art DAO.
I know Jen. I'm part of One Love.
Oh, you are part of One Love. Okay, that's what I thought.
I showed with them the year before at they had a big event at Art Basel, and I showed my sculpture with them. Yeah, Jen is awesome. Jen is an icon. I really admire her. I am bad at voting in the DAO, but I am part of the DAO.
You should vote. That's how.
I know.
That's a part of the DAO.
You know, I need to make an AI chatbot that reminds me. You know, it's there's so many things I need to do for my online life and my physical life but she does amazing work at promoting artists.
She does.
Lifting up artists. She's an amazing artist herself. Jen is amazing. I really respect her, and I respect her hustle. And
I
and
love
so
it.
I mean, she's Florida based too, and
She's in
I know
Tampa,
she's
yeah.
a mom as well. So
Yeah. So we met her initially, me and my partner, we met her at Gates Hotel in Miami South Beach at Art Basel last year, right? We interviewed her, Zoni did, and then we published that interview. And then just a few weeks later, I started getting on TikTok, and then I introduced Jen to TikTok Lives. And then we've been doing this TikTok Live together to promote artists, right? Like under the One Love Art DAO brand. And I convinced her to finally make a One Love Art DAO TikTok account. I know, right?
I follow.
Right. And I was like, that wouldn't have been possible if me, myself, and like Do over here started his daily TikTok lives. And I convinced Jen, I was like, Jen, you got to do this. This is another great resource for artists. And she kept putting it off. And I'm like, you got to take the leap, and she finally did it. And we've been pretty consistent for the past, we do a weekly live now every Sundays at 4:00 EST. So hopefully I need to follow up with her for this Sunday. We've just been so busy trying to catch up from ETH Denver. And so that's our main TikTok daily lives, or I should say weekly lives. But we will begin starting to do X Spaces again, because she doesn't like hosting X Spaces. And I'm like, I love it. Let me host and you can be my co.
I am with her on that. I love Clubhouse. I felt so intimate. I was so comfortable. I used to host the beginning onboard space for artists and whoever. But when everyone moved to X, I just like,
I know. It's different, isn't it? It's a different vibe.
So interesting how UX matters so much, right? Like good UX that makes people feel comfortable. I don't know. Yeah, X always, it feels like a big black hole to me.
Really? Oh, it's so sad.
But TikTok Live. So I think what I'm going to do is
join me.
I'm going to create a TikTok for this project that I'm doing right now.
Okay.
And so basically it's an AI agent to help parents. Cool. Because when you're a parent, you have all the chaos. I don't know if you spent any time with little kids, but
ever so often.
It can be chaotic. There can be like cycles where you're just like, oh my God, I need a timeout.
Right.
And to have this intelligent assistant, you'd be like, my kids are having a meltdown. I'm having a meltdown. What can I do? And it'll come back to you with like a few suggestions. And you're like, oh my God, AI, that's a really, I call it Mama Set, which is like marmoset, but it's like mama and set. So it's cute. Like, so far the logo is a little mama set holding a little baby mama set. So and the idea too, and it uses blockchain, like you can message it with Telegram, message it a photo you just took. It'll put it on IPFS, and then you'll be able to take those photos and memories and create books using like chat books. Or so basically it's a way to just streamline like all the things that you want to do. Like I have hundreds and thousands of photographs of my kids, and of course I've messaged them to people like my ex-husband. We're still good friends. We talk and text all the time.
That's great.
We are sending each other photos of the kids when they were younger. And my parents and my brother. But if this Mama Set bot had been on that chat, she could be making these NFTs so they're archived on the blockchain, organized. And then I could have made books easily, and I wouldn't just have a bunch of stuff in a million hard drives. Although I did organize it and archive it, and it's backed up like 4 times.
Nice.
There's 4 terabytes of images of my daughters from their life.
That's amazing.
I think there's more photos than my parents ever like looked at me.
Oh my gosh. You need to put those into actual photo books, tangible. You need to eventually do that. And then you'll have something tangible that you can always look for.
Build an AI agent to do that for me.
Yes, there we go. But you need that because I used to be a wedding photographer in another life. So I that was my upsell, right, to the couples. Get the wedding album, because you're not gonna know where these images, they might corrupt on the drive, like that sense of you don't know what's gonna happen on a digital scape. And that's why you need tangibility is huge.
For using IPFS, the Interplanetary File System, which is a decentralized storage system for NFTs, because the actual NFT is a string of numbers, right? So IPFS allows you to store the actual image on a decentralized file storage, so you don't lose that, and so it's there for as long as we don't have the, what is it, the electromagnetic bomb that's going to wipe out all the
EMP, right?
Sorry.
EMP.
I am optimistic, I promise. I just sometimes like,
I've heard of that. I've heard if the president's close, there is like your phones don't work. They stop working if he's doing like, if you ever go to an event where, the president of the United States is speaking, they actually have that EMP. I've heard from other people. But if you go to a rally or something, you can't use your phones.
They
like
block the signal.
They block it. They block the signal.
They jam the Wi-Fi or
they jam something, the 5G, the towers. So you can't document, you can't do anything. Your phone's useless at that point. I've heard, but I don't know. But I think that's just interesting because, more and more as technology gets more sophisticated, we're always looking for ways to counter that sophistication, right? We're always looking for ways to, even though technology's here, we can always, have something to not beat it, but I guess counter it, in a way, and have that defense in case, shit hits the fan, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's, it's like, I think the military was using Anthropic for some of their missions, like their manless drone missions, and Anthropic was like, you can't do that, and they're like, yes we can, the Defense Act, whatever. There's always this tension, right, between technological innovation and government control, and in some ways government protects us, and in some ways it stifles us, so when crypto has a bull market, people are like, why is crypto being so regulated? When it has a bear market, they're like, okay, maybe the government was right. So,
like what the heck? There's that FUD, right? But
there's
also FOMO at the same time, so it's like
no FOMO.
Well, a lot of people are getting FOMO from ETH Denver, and we haven't really even touched on your experience at ETH Denver. And I've been posting these little day in the life of Do on my TikTok.
Those.
You should
They're
check
so
them out.
cute.
Thank you.
Love those. Oh, those are great.
I've got one more part, and then it'll be a mini series. It'll be so I'm working on it later today. Hopefully, I'll have it done by today.
Did you submit to the content guys? To Humpty and David Hernandez?
No,
they did a content hackathon.
Really?
But I documented the process of my hackathon, but I was busy with another project I was involved in the day after, so I wasn't able to submit. But I'll connect you to Humpty.
You should. I would love that, because this was part of the content creators program put on by ETH Denver. So that's why I got the little badge. I was able to get able to get access to the podcast lounge so I could interview people, right? So this is what was special about applying for the content creators program. It's basically a little media pass. That means you could go around, you could interview anyone, you could talk, actually do stuff around the conference, and then use the podcast lounge, which was incredible. You saw it. It was super bright, the camera, the mics. They had it last year too. That's incredible. So it's like, I love that ETH Denver, and it was all for free. Like, we didn't have to pay a single dime, and that's the beauty of ETH Denver. General admission was free. Everything was free. It was to the public because they want people to come. They want people to experience crypto, experience how beneficial it can be for your life. And I want to hear more about your experience at ETH Denver, what you took away. It sounds like this wasn't the first time you've been to ETH Denver, so maybe compared to the last time you went as well. I want to hear all about it, Fiona. So, and then your camera's just messed up for a second.
I just turned off my
No, you're good.
words because it's driving me crazy.
No worries. You're good. Take it away.
So, all right. So my experience last year, I mean, every experience is great and every experience is different. And I try to never have FOMO because I always feel like I'm always in the right place. I just turned that off. Maybe it's you. Anyway, so I might very go with the wind, like my intuition, like what does my heart tell me that I want to do? And so what I did was so not only is the conference free, they have a free 3-day beginner class that helps people learn Solidity, which is the programming language of Ethereum blockchain, which is basically how to code smart contracts. Now, a smart contract is basically just code that says, if you do this, I do this. And if that person does this, I do that. It's just instructions basically.
Right.
So what was really exciting about that build conference, the builds, I did it last year too. Last year, I had no idea what I was doing. AI coding was just starting. I was using this application and I just I was all over the place.
Yeah.
This year, I had more of a sense of problems developing in AI, what I actually needed Solidity for. And the new evolvement of this open cloud technology really captivated me. We had one of the teachers, Austin Griffith, I think is how you say his name. And he was telling us about all of his claw agents and how they all communicate and how he interacts with them using Telegram. And I was like, oh my God, this is such an opportunity. Let me take this technology and, sorry, is that me or you, the beeping?
That's you. No, I'm not beeping. That's totally you, Fiona.
Oh, I'm on Do Not Disturb. How is this?
I don't know. I definitely not sure what's going on.
So unprofessional. I'm very sorry.
It's okay. You're fine. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. ETH Denver. ETH Denver.
Okay, so I saw this opportunity to really dive in, and it's that social pressure too. Everybody's making something, and there are mentors there if you run into any kind of problems. So I was like, you know what? Let me build something I wish I had when I was a mother, and I had twins, small kids, something that's small things I have chicken, eggs, flour, broccoli in the fridge. What can I make? Or, my kid's having a meltdown. What do I do? Or I'm looking for basketball programs or keep track of, school deadlines I need to apply for. Especially when you're working and being a mother, it's just overwhelming. So having a really intelligent AI assistant would be something that I would have loved. So I built this mama set. And I celebrate every small step. I successfully installed a VM, which I didn't know about the previous year. I was able to run the claw through it. I was able to integrate Telegram. I was able, now I'm building it out right now. And now I'm adding the component of the blockchain and storing memories and photos on the blockchain. So it really motivated me and kickstarted me into going. And while I wasn't able to do as many social events, I definitely did some. And I was able to present in front of the audience on stage. The last day they had an open claw kind of showcase.
Yeah, I was there.
My project won most heartfelt, which feels like a little bit like a participation prize. But the the utility of this project, I'm a big believer in it. And I really do believe that parents need something like this, because like I said, we still have these basic human issues that are impacting people, whether or not we have iPads, iPhones, computers, little doohickeys that do this and that. So I really wanted to dive into this tech, get to know it. I'm going to do a TikTok on the process of doing it for other people to learn.
Nice.
I think that it's valuable coming from me, because I'm not, a 20-year-old coder who's studying computer science. There were these adorable kids from Purdue that won. I think they won an honorable mention at the hackathon for this incredible game, the staking game that they created. That's not me. I'm so practical. I'm what can AI help me with in my life or my previous life? Or help mothers, fathers, caretakers. And that for me is the essential, is I felt drawn to it. I did it. I successfully produced it. Last year, I met amazing people and made friends for life. But my hackathon team, we were trying to create a bill splitting app that had social impact, that had, instead of a credit card, which gives 3%, which takes 3% from the merchant, it would be multi-platform, and it would distribute a 1% to a local social impact cause. Our team didn't really coalesce for some reason, because there's so many things to do. This one was at that thing, this one was there, and we barely, when we got together, we just had 10 minutes. So you really need to lock in and work on something and work through problems with hackathons. So this year I was you know what, I'm doing it myself. I have the AI to help me, and I was able to do it, and that felt like a really big accomplishment. And now I'm going to a hackathon tonight where I'm going to be using Unlink and Monad. Monad is also a layer 2 Ethereum, again cheaper, and Unlink is like a privacy layer. So I need to learn more about it before I can talk intelligently about it. But for parents, I think that that's really valuable to have this idea that, you know, their stuff on IPFS is not linked to them, and that they feel like it's, you know, it's private and secure. So I will talk to people about my project. The idea of a parenting app is not sexy to like the 20-year-olds. Like they
can't relate.
That's DeFi, and that makes you rich, and that like arbitrage trades for you on different exchanges and makes you millions of dollars. Like it's actually like a helpful, emotionally intelligent being, and I don't need that. I need something to make me rich.
Right. Well, you have to think about it. Most people in their 20s, they don't have kids, right? Most of them aren't moms. They can't relate. So, they're going to check out. But at the same time, there are tons of people I meet on Spaces. They're parents. They are trying to teach their kids about crypto in a very, you know, a way that they understand. And their kids catch on quick because, you know, they're either on, what is it, that one game? I forget. It's like Minecraft or something.
Yeah.
Blocks, Builder Blocks, something like that. You know what I'm talking about. Or they're on YouTube, or they're on YouTube, something like that. So they're always like, they're integrated. It's already coded. Like they're going to make it as long as they keep staring at their screens. Right. So I'm like, dang, this is crazy how much kids can pick up these days. And I think they're going to be using AI in incredible ways that we are just hitting the surface. You know?
I think I just heard that Meta announced that Facebook is going to do like stable coins or something.
What?
I think I just heard that on an AI podcast I listened to. I don't know exactly the rollout, but maybe grandma's gonna be using stable coins before long.
Maybe. I wouldn't doubt it.
Always like the on-off ramp, right? Like how do you get your cash to crypto? And then once you're in crypto, what are you gonna buy? What are you gonna use it for? Right now, I can't really go to the pharmacy and be like, hey, I need to buy like toothpaste with, you know, crypto. Like that doesn't happen. Right. But I can use a credit card where I earn crypto.
See? So how's that work? Or you get cash back. Like I have the crypto.com card. They have a debit card and they have a credit card actually. So they let you use the credit card, and every time you use the credit card, you get a little cash back in Crow, right? That's their reward token. That's their native token. And then that little bit of Crow, you know, depending on what Crow's sitting at, I don't know what it's at, 8 cents, 9 cents. It doesn't matter. The point is you get the Crow back, right? So it's like, it is a cash back kind of, you know, thing. Your card.
Do they stake it for you so you're earning returns? Probably.
You can yourself. It's not an automatic stake, but you can go and you can stake it yourself in the form of these airdrops. You put so many in and they lock your token away for, you know, I think up to 3, 6, 9 months. You can pick, and then you get choice between the APY of how much you want based off the stake. And that's what I usually do too. And you know, there's a bunch of stuff you can do on crypto.com. We can talk later about that. But at the same time, you know, like it sounds like, you know, ETH Denver was a success, obviously, right? So it was one of the better conferences you've been to compared to
ETH Denver is hands down my favorite conference.
Really? Favorite?
Because it's more tech based, it's less art, but there's something about it, about like people building in all different aspects, and there's something about the innovation of it, something about the learning of it. Like, even though I didn't necessarily get as much out of, well, actually, it's not true. I got a lot out of the builder, a free 3-day class on Solidity. I mean, come on,
huge.
Like
That's
that
huge.
class would probably cost $1,000 if you
at least.
And you're taught by like, you know, Ethereum OG, like superstar teacher Kappa Joe, who's like very famous in the space.
Oh wow.
And you know, there's another teacher named Solange, who's Brazilian actually, and Austin Griffin. You have a lot of really great guest speakers too that come, and any question, they're available to you, and it's amazing. They're just there, you know, to help you. And anytime I want to message them, I can. And that accessibility to people that know so much is pretty magical. And there's just something about the culture of Ethereum and ETH Denver that like I don't want to miss it ever. Like
Right.
I've been to ETH New York, and that was really fun, and I had a great
Okay.
time. That was my first really big Ethereum conference, and they're
Oh.
actually doing ETH New York again in June 2026.
What?
Trying to
Okay.
get my daughter to do it, but I
Wait. Are you gonna be here? Are you gonna be in New York in June?
I think I will be in New York in June.
Okay, because we're gonna have to link up. We're gonna have to go.
Okay,
Obviously.
We'll go. We'll go.
Well, because I haven't heard about my next conference is Vegas, right? Bitcoin and XRP Vegas. Those are like right next to each other. Those are the end of April, and so I'm like, I'm gonna go to that
That'll be
because
awesome.
yeah, because
And
we're
the Bitcoin conference is interesting in its own right. It's a different culture, and there is some like more Ethereum around it.
Sure.
It's very interesting. I've been to Bitcoin Miami, and I thought it was really interesting. I didn't feel the same like community, but and the Bitcoiners are a little bit more like
what?
I wouldn't say extreme. It's a little bit more like I live in the woods. I got my guns. I got my Bitcoin. I'm off the grid. Like the government doesn't know. It has a little bit more of that spice.
Okay.
But that being said, I've minted on Bitcoin. I've inscribed on Bitcoin.
There you go. That's what
I ran a contest for artists to inscribe on Bitcoin as a means of preserving voice. Because when you inscribe on Bitcoin, nobody can do anything about it. Nobody at all. And the security of that is, people could argue that inscribing on Bitcoin is the most secure, even more than IPFS, even though IPFS is decentralized, because no one can mess with the Bitcoin blockchain. It's like the strongest, most decentralized blockchain out there. And
it's the oldest.
It's going through a tough time right now.
No, it's okay. It's a perfect time to buy.
And I try to do my DCA throughout the whole existence of it.
Yeah.
I always say, like, why spend $6-7 on a coffee where you can just put that money away and make a coffee for like 20 cents at home or whatever.
Right, or free for that matter. Like seriously, coffee is so cheap. Why to go to Starbucks? Why to go to Starbucks every day? Spend almost $10 at a coffee when you could spend that $10, put in Bitcoin every day, DCA into Bitcoin.
That's what I tell people. I say you don't have to spend thousands. You don't have to have that money. You can spend just a tiny amount and you put it away. And yes, it's high risk. Yes, the price goes up and down. But in 10 years, I mean, who knows where it will be at? And now they're talking about all this insecurity, like with quantum computing, but they are going to do an upgrade. Bitcoin will be upgraded, and it's the most kind of decentralized currency that we have on the planet.
That's true.
So barring all the computers being wiped out by an alien invasion, I'm just kidding.
Are we talking about aliens now? We can talk about, do you believe in aliens, Fiona?
I mean, I feel like you'd be myopic to think that we're the only life form.
That's true.
I just think that, like, we just haven't seen them. Maybe I don't think we're cool enough. Like, they're just like, ugh, humans are so basic.
So basic.
I think, like, they're just, like, not interested in us.
Really? I feel like they live among us. I feel like they're already here. Yeah.
That is possible. I do think Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, is AI.
He's got to be alien.
For sure.
/AI/alien at this point.
Maybe.
I'm sure he has a little QR code in the back of his neck or something. Like seriously, he's
next level.
scanning every day. Like it's just like Black Mirror.
Level.
It's just Black Mirror.
Yeah.
It's all coming true. It's all revelation.
The amount of respect I have for him for forming this is tremendous. Because without Ethereum, you don't have all these interoperable things that can happen on this technology. You don't have the NFTs. You don't have the real world assets that people, someone in Nigeria can invest in the US stock market using tokenized S&P 500 what do you call it, like a fund, like it allows for so much. And like I think there's some statistic, like there's like this even feels like a low number. I want to say it's like a $1 trillion market, but it could even be bigger, of real world assets that have like yet to be tokenized on the blockchain. So this is an aspect. Like when people talk about crypto prices, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Think about all these real world assets that can be tokenized, traded, invested in globally. You live in a remote part of Africa, Brazil, whatever, you can now buy into this investment that'll maybe return 5 to 8% a year. And, you know, that's more money for you to feed your family.
Exactly.
It's really like this dawning of a new age where like borders don't matter. Geographic location. This is another reason to be a nomad. Geographic location doesn't matter anymore. I mean, time zone, yes, but you know, we're really a global world, and we're all human. And like I said in my project, like we all bleed red. So all of this like BS about like, you know, immigrants and oh, you have this color skin. It's just bullshit, because we're all blood and guts and organs underneath it all. And, you know, we've just adapted as humans to different environments. And I don't know, who knows? Maybe we'll grow another appendage so we can be like typing on the computer and like texting on the phone at the same time.
That's alien right there. Let me tell you.
Yeah, maybe.
That's alien.
Who knows?
Who knows?
It's like we are this like where humans are really amazing, but they're also pretty terrible too. And we're really tribal. And you see it in the digital world.
Tribal.
We're so tribal.
Tribalism is pervasive. How do we break that tribalism? That's a good question. What do you think as an artist?
Community, getting together in person. You know, there was this really interesting documentary that I saw about like white nationalist groups that I feel bad that I don't remember the name of the director, but it was on Netflix a few years ago. And she went to like a really, I forget even the name of the white nationalist group in like somewhere in the South. And by the end of the documentary, the leader of this group said, I can't be a part of this group anymore because I met you and I saw how awesome you are. And I don't want to be a part of it anymore. And wow, you know, it's humans need to interact with each other, right? And then you can see like, wow, like this person is totally different from me. It's so amazing. Look at all the things they're doing. Like, how can I hate this XYZ person or this color? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's all because people feel threatened, right?
Oh, is that it? Is that why people kind of revert to tribalism? Because they feel threatened, or they feel judged, maybe, or they feel ashamed, or like the color of their skin?
Like of lack of resources, and that they're being left out, right? And if they don't stand up for whatever group they're, you know, a part of, they're going to get left out of jobs, money, opportunities. And so the idea is like, you know, think about when you were a kid and you would get like picked for like dodgeball.
Oh yeah, I was always one of the last ones picked. I'm just saying, I was such a small kid back then.
Yeah, I know.
I know, and I used to always feel left out. But I was never the last, but I was like always the second or third or fourth of last. You know, it was always like that. And oh my gosh, he's stealing this show.
Oh, she's so cute. I know, me too. And little did they know I was like a killer athlete when I was
right. I was the same. I was tenacious. Let me tell you, I was
small and mighty, just like this one. This is like this 9 pounds of fluff right here.
Oh my gosh, fun size. That's why.
Really
How old is she?
She's 11. She's okay.
She's getting a little bit there. Yeah.
But she loves going around with me in her bag.
Oh, she likes to travel. That was my next question.
Yeah,
you feel like she's like an adventure dog, or okay?
Oh, okay. She knows when she goes in her bag, she's going with me. I might bring her to the hackathon tonight in her bag.
You should. That would be so fun. You know,
sometimes people get upset, but I don't know. Part of me doesn't care. She's so quiet. She just sits there.
Hey, if she's quiet, she reminds me of. Did you meet? I'm blanking. Danielle from the Doginal Dogs. She was coming around with her little Chihuahua, Moo. Did you see her?
Wait,
she was at ETH Denver. She was at ETH Denver. She was at an XRP event. I saw her as well. We've been following each other on Instagram and just DMing each other just randomly. It's so funny, but she's Jersey. She's the Jersey girl.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, did you meet her?
Chihuahua.
Yeah, she
is mostly Chihuahua.
Yeah. Her dog as well, but it's like all Chihuahua. And her name is Moo. And basically she carries Moo around like literally like on her arm, like just like there the entire ETH conference. She was like the only one with this Chihuahua. Let me tell you, like she was, and she's an identifier because I'm like, there's no one else that brought their dog at ETH Denver like Danielle. And so that's the only reason I remember her. So it's so funny. You should have done the same with your dog.
I know. I tried to make it as economical as possible going, just
Right.
because, it all adds up.
Yeah,
And
that's true. That's true.
and it also
Facts.
allows me to do creative things with my money too. Like
Right.
I'm at the tail end of finishing this documentary about this woman and this old nun who,
oh wow,
she basically lives a life where she spends nothing and she gets all her food outside the grocery stores. Like they throw out like almost expired food. She's crazy. She's amazing. And she's donated all this money and she ended up funding this recent African immigrant, this was years ago, who escaped the genocide in Rwanda. And he came to New York. He was like homeless and had all these health issues, and she helped find him a place to live. And he ended up studying at the Harvard School of Public Health and founding the very first women's health center in Burundi. It's called Village Healthworks. And it's expanded, and it served like thousands and thousands of women in that area who, didn't have access to like maternal health or a place to give birth. And it's just an amazing story. And so with a few other people that I've connected with, we've put together a short of her, and we're at like kind of like the final stages of putting it together. So, putting money into that, or putting money into like this project I want to do in Venice. So the more I kind of am creative about, maybe sharing resources with someone, like, we share an Airbnb in a remote place. There is value to like sharing, and to like I'm sort of semi-professional chef because I cooked for my kids for 18 years.
You are professional. Oh my God,
friends,
come on.
I know,
you are pro. You are so pro.
I made them all these dishes. I made them like kind of like a Syrian chicken that I make. I made them chicken tacos. Fresh protein bars.
Oh
I
my
made
gosh.
all these things.
Can I hire you?
Yes, please. So that's another thing, is like traveling and cooking for people. I love cooking for people. I love feeding people. It's one of my biggest joys in life. And and eating good food. I mean, there's nothing like it. I mean,
seriously. I know. Yeah, I love good food.
When people
I love good
the
food.
food came out, everyone was like,
Yes, I did notice that. Yeah, at the blockchain church there. Yeah, they were just all over that. But man, so that was another question I had too. How do you make your money? How do you continue doing this kind of digital nomad experience for those who are trying? Because that's the number one thing with artists, right? It's like, we've got great ideas, right? It's like, but how do we get the funding? How do we get the money so we can actually do what we want to do in life?
Absolutely. Well, when NFTs first came about, I did do trading, and I did do some things to make money during that first chunk of time. And I've been able to, well, before I was a professional photographer, like people would hire me, I would shoot a ton of corporate headshots. Nice. And that kind of fell off after pandemic. Sure. And then when crypto came out, I did do like NFT trading. Nice. And like that was really fun because it was like Pokemon cards. Now I'm kind of in a rebuilding stage. Like right now, I'm trying to figure out. I think I'm gonna build out this app. I want to make it affordable, but also, I need to make money doing it.
Right.
So I've been like thinking of ways to do. I've been thinking about maybe hosting. I don't know if you're familiar with the book The Artist Way. But it's a really good like book for not only artists, but any person kind of trying to release ideas to get things out, to like work through their blocks. I mean, we all have blocks, right? Our brains are always playing tricks on us. I've been thinking about hosting groups like that and charging, an affordable amount. It's a 12-week program for that. So I'm kind of in a rebuilding stage right now. I gave myself kind of like January, February off to like move and restructure my life so I could be nomadic. And thank God for that, because I do feel more free. I have a lot more headspace to focus on important things. I'm gonna win this hackathon this weekend.
Yeah, you are. I feel it. I'm giving you good vibes. I'm sending you the vibes.
Get some money from that.
There you go.
We'll see. I mean, I'm lucky that I have this space to crash out at my mom's, where it's like
Yeah.
I'm not paying rent. I don't have to pay money to be here. I do cook for her as well.
There you go. Trade of
But
service.
I also love physical activity. Like
Yeah.
I've been studying Pilates and yoga for Pilates, I'd say 2 years, and yoga for 10 years.
Right.
I've thought about teaching that maybe on Zoom,
There you go.
so I could be mobile. But yeah, I have a few things kind of in the works to make money.
Right.
I guess I could try to go back to photography, although
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like anybody pays for that anymore. Maybe
What?
still
What? Don't say
maybe
that.
still weddings, maybe.
Right.
But you have to really be in one place to do that, and there's too much of an opportunity now to document things going on around the world with crypto, to really see how the impact is having, to experience different Ethereum communities globally. You're wearing I Love Japan. I'm pondering now how I can make it to Japan in September for ETH Japan.
I'm planning to go to Japan towards the end of the year. Actually, September, I didn't know ETH Japan was happening in September. That might be an event I'll be at, but I want to actually stay there for at least 3 months with my partner. My partner is basically manifesting. She's like, I'm sick of the US. I want to go to Japan. I've been to Japan before. She's never been to Japan, though. So I went back in 2024, and I spent about almost 5 weeks there visiting Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, Narita, and there was a few other towns. It was immaculate. I highly recommend. I know the food, the people, the convenience, Fiona, the convenience. It was so real. You don't need a car to go anywhere. Like, seriously, it's so convenient. Japan is where it's at.
And people are so nice, right?
So nice. And you know what? Even if you don't know Japanese, most people there know English. They just prefer, obviously, Japanese. And there's always English signs. You've got these translators now.
Are you learning Japanese?
Not yet. I just there's this time factor, Fiona. There's this time factor. I don't have enough time. I know. I just need to wake up earlier, right? Konnichiwa. I know konnichiwa. Yes, I know konnichiwa. My partner's helping me learn too. She's very into it, and she wants to move there full time. And it was so funny. She was like, "With or without you, Donald, I am going to get there."
Wait, do you know? I need to introduce you to Hikari.
Hikari, okay.
Hikari is Japanese. She was at ETH Denver. She was at the base house.
Nice.
And
I might have met her.
Partners with Luciano, who actually I did my very first hackathon with.
Okay.
Who's been very involved in Ethereum for a while now, and he's very involved in base.
Yeah.
So he runs a hackathon in Japan. It's happening right after ETH Japan.
Oh, nice.
And it's to basically reinvigorate a small community in Japan. It's in the south.
Yes.
I'm forgetting the name of it. But it's very cool. It's a 2-week hackathon. So there's housing, food, and it could be really interesting for you to document that.
I would love that. I am up for it. Pay for my travels. I will document the whole thing.
She's awesome. Yeah, she's awesome. She's really
I would love that.
And really involved in this community, and really, I think she's probably like of Japanese people I've met, her English is amazing. She won a prize in Japan for her English, and
oh my gosh,
and she's very involved in this space and promoting this technology, and she's the sweetest human being. We had a little sauna day after Denver in Denver. It was so good.
I love saunas, by the way. They're so good for your health, recovery. We haven't even touched on the health and wellness. I feel like you're kind of a health and wellness nerd in a lot of ways.
I try.
I love that. And I want to, before I get into that though, I just want to go back to what we were talking about in relation to traveling, right? And going out, adventuring. How important is travel for you, Fiona?
It's essential. I grew up, my dad worked in third world development, and I grew up going a lot to Central America, going to Brazil to see my family. So I've always had a very global perspective. It's not just about the country you're in, it's about the world. And I've been very lucky. I've done photo projects in Sierra Leone. I've seen how people live all over the world and what people's needs are. And that's one of the most exciting things for me. Like, the world is benefiting so much from blockchain. How do we amplify that even more? And so having those new experiences, trying those new foods, going to places that people are like, oh, like, okay, you don't want to go into a war zone, but you know, people stereotype the developing world as like, oh, it's so dangerous. Like, you go, you don't wear anything fancy, you're chill, like you can have your boundaries and be perfectly safe. And it's really important. Travel is essential. And I joke that Lebanese people are like wanderers, right? Like wandering Arab through the world. And that's really my goal for the next, like, I would say 10 years, like until I'm a grandmother. Until I'm a grandmother, I'm going to be nomadic. And I told my kids this, I was like, listen, I might not always be around. I'm always a phone call away, but I feel this need and this pull to like adventure, do the things I couldn't necessarily do when I was a mom, even though I did plenty of travel when I was a mom too. But this idea of like really reaching out to the world and seeing how people are adopting blockchain, be able to communicate that to other people, and to just like have those life experiences for myself too. And I'm really interested. One of the things I might pursue is documenting how blockchain adoption is happening in Brazil and Kenya and Tanzania. What are some other countries that are, you know, really heavily adopting? I'm also very curious about these like crypto states, you know, like Prospera and also El Salvador.
That's right. They adopted Bitcoin on their ledger, right? You can literally use Bitcoin for anything in El Salvador. And I heard a lot of South American countries are starting to adopt like cryptocurrency as their main legal tender.
Yeah,
that's huge. That's huge. And I
it
know
is.
Africa's are already doing that with their stable coins. And I feel like, and don't, you know, mistake me if I'm wrong when I'm saying this, but I feel like crypto is like a bigger deal outside of the US than it is inside. Like it's more utility outside. And I don't really understand that, because I feel like we have a pro crypto administration right now, right? So it's like
our money in the US works for us, you know, like for instance, in Lebanon, like there was one point where the government froze all withdrawals from banks. Boom.
Wow,
you can't pay your money.
That's scary. That's
self-custody. No one can tell you can't have your money. Your money is there. It's yours.
Right.
Like I think there is a statistic, and I don't know the exact number. So Celo, which is a layer 2 Ethereum.
Right.
They are very popular in the developing world. They have stable coins all across Africa, South America. The statistic of the amount of volume that increased on Ethereum when they joined, and it was just in 2024, was outrageous. You can look up the numbers. It's when I saw it, it's like shocking. So when your money doesn't work for you, you don't trust your government, you know, it's a big incentive. Self-custody is huge incentive, even if it's riskier, let's say, but it's also riskier to keep your money in the bank where the government controls the bank.
Right.
So it's a huge advantage in the developing world. And that's why we don't see like our businesses, like I said, with this piece I did in Brazil, when people got the money, the Celo Real, which is the Brazilian currency, in their phones, they could then spend it in local stores that were onboarded onto the platform. It's this app called MiniPay, which is like on Celo. And they could spend it on whatever they want. And it's their money. It comes that they're allowing, you know, banking the unbanked is no joke. Like the money that they're getting, they can invest in DeFi. They can loan it to a friend. They can loan it to a larger pool. They can invest in these S&P 500. I mean, I don't know for a fact through that app they can, but, but in theory, you know, in theory, things that have been inaccessible. And if you think about the amount of capital that means even to companies in the United States, it's huge. It's really like it's really expanding our world. And like I said, we need like local governments for trash cleanup and healthcare and schools and things like that. But like maybe not even schools in the future, who knows? But but this idea of like localized thinking, myopic thinking, only people that look like me, think like me is dead. And to force the issue feels so dated.
Yeah,
And
does.
and right now, like, tech is going to completely, this AI revolution. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time, and there's going to be hiccups, and there's going to be hacks, and there's going to be security problems, but we're going to see whole industries gone because of
Right.
this.
This is true.
We're going to see massive layoffs. People that can't innovate, that can't keep up. You know, I mean, maybe it'll be good for humanity. Maybe it'll be more in-person things. Maybe there'll be like a UBI that people get from these big companies that are not paying taxes. You know, and they're cozying up to leaders so they don't have to pay taxes, and they can run through, you know, become monopolies and take everyone's money. And there is a convenience factor, sure, but you know, it's a changing world, and I can't imagine being an old person in today's world. I'm really lucky. I'm like in my 40s in today's world.
No, you're not. Shut up. You're not 40.
Well, I have 19-year-old kids, so I have to be something in my 40s. Right?
Late 30s. Late 30s. Come on.
I'm gonna be vague as to where I am on the spectrum.
Late 30s. Late 30s.
Late 30s.
You look so. Maybe it's your genes. Maybe the way you take care of your skin, and that's what I wanted to get into real quick before I forget. We're gonna wrap this up probably the next 20 minutes. Just give you a bit of a time frame here, but tell me more about your health and wellness routine. How do you look so good at such the age you are? What kind of skin routine you do? Share with me a little bit about your self-care.
Sure. Well, water, first of all. Try to drink as much water as I can. I do drink coffee. I love coffee. I'm Brazilian. I can't give that up. I try to do movement every day, you know, walking. I do Pilates a few times a week, yoga. I try to just like move until like I have to keep working, or and I try to push myself. Like I do weight training. I try to weight train at least once a week, because it does allow for like that load on your joints. And I feel like as we age, that becomes more and more important. But Pilates keeps me really my core really strong, and overall more healthy and mobile. And the yoga, it's like a mental wellness thing too.
Love yoga.
Have in the winter a pretty basic skincare. I use a Welda face wash, and it's like called Skin Food Cream, and that's it. And I do use serums. I do use serums sometimes, and vitamin C. In the summer, I do one of those like more exfoliating things, like I think it's AHA or whatever. I have used retinol in the past, but I don't know if that does anything.
So hype.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm skeptical about these things. I do have good Lebanese genes. I do have and like I feel like, and like it's also the brain body connection. I was listening to a podcast the other day about how leg strength is really important marker in terms of developing Alzheimer's. So, and also doing hard things with your brain, like this hackathon, learning all this new tech, asking all these questions, learning Japanese. You know, I mean, I know a few words right now, but I'm working on it.
Me too.
You know, even like watching a TV show or movie in another
language. That's tough. That's hard.
I mean, obviously subtitles.
Right.
But just like really engaging in life in all aspects of life. Sleep is important. I did not get sleep last night. But
no.
I know, right? Sleep is important. Bootsy, come here, baby.
How much sleep do you get on average, or how much do you need?
I try to get between 6 and 8 hours, and I'm happier when I get more like 7, 8.
Right.
But 6, I got 6 last night. You know, 6 is doable. I can
6
use my
isn't bad. Yeah.
Anything like those kids that won the hackathon, they said they got 2 hours of sleep.
Oh my god, dude!
For the whole week, I was like,
"That's crazy."
Oh my god, how are you not having a mental breakdown?
Seriously.
And there really is this aspect of like, are you having mental health problems, or do you just need more sleep? And you know, the brain, when it functions without sleep, is just, it's not as sharp, it's not as fast, it's not as skilled. Like all of the cellular turnover that we have. I try to eat healthy. I eat mostly plant-based. I do eat some meat. I don't really eat red meat because of just the impact on the environment, and just like it doesn't seem like the healthiest kind of meat for our bodies. When I go to Brazil, I get like bullied into eating some red meat, but I try to
Really?
chicken and fish, or mostly like tofu tempeh,
Okay.
vegetables, healthy grains, very like Lebanese kind of diet, Brazilian diet. Not too much sugar, although, you know, who doesn't love gummy bears sometimes?
I know, right?
No, gummy bears. I love gummy
I
bears.
feel,
I try to be really in touch with my body. I did have a meditation practice that I haven't really kept up with. I've just sort of a part of my yoga practice now.
yeah.
But every morning when I wake up, I do some kind of movement, even if it's just like 20 jumping jacks to get my body moving. Because
Good.
that burst of just like, I'm moving my body, like even if you're just doing like Pilates in bed, like put your knees up, you know, press your hands against your knees and just activate your lower abdominal, like press your abdominals in, like just that mind body connection as much as you can make it happen. Or like if I'm sitting for a long time, I'll take a 5-10 minute workout break. It doesn't working out doesn't need to be this like big long event. Like it can happen on the floor wherever you are, at the airport, even though you look ridiculous. Like, you know, taking time like after a big push, like Denver, go to the sauna, relax, unwind, sweat, jump in that cold plunge. Just, you know, I don't know, just like being really intuitive. I feel like people come into problems when they push themselves too hard. They don't listen to their body. They don't love their body. There's a lot of body shaming, you know, people getting surgeries, all that stuff. It's like, no, like, let's just like, we're given like, and when I photographed amputees in West Africa, like you really have this appreciation. Like I have 2 legs and 2 arms, and I'm grateful for those. Let me move them so I can keep using them. And
so important.
You know, just like health is wealth. It really is. And, you know, I've had issues like giving birth was very challenging. I had an umbilical hernia. I had years later, I had an appendix burst. I've had my fair share of health problems, and exercise and wellness has helped me get back. And I'm a big proponent of, and I'm a big proponent too of using things like psychedelics to expand, to like get past mental blocks that like traditional therapy can't really do. Like there are certain things that are like stuck in our subconscious, and something like a trip sat by like a professional journey with whatever your psychedelic of choice can really help like unlock things. And then through talk therapy and just through your own affirmations, like you really have to tell yourself, like, I can do this, like this is something I can do, and I'm competent. And if I run into problems, I run into problems. You know, I listened to the interview with the guy that founded OpenClaw, and he had all these issues. Like this guy, this genius who created this thing that everybody's using, had issues. So he's like, I've got everyone, you know, like I used to be a photo assistant on Victoria's Secret's first digital catalog. I helped them. I did like digital photography consulting way back when digital photography was first starting. And you saw all these gorgeous models. All of them had body issues. And I'm like, girl, you are the model of what every woman wants to look like. And the minute I saw that, I was just like, no, I'm done. I'm done, like, you know, inheriting body issues from previous generations. Like, no. You know, it's like I produced 2 healthy kids. Like, I'm healthy. I'm alive. Like, I have a friend that just passed away a month ago at my age. And it's like, why are people so self-hating? Why is the plastic surgery industry, the fillers, the Botox, of this, why is that so popular? Like, that money buy crypto and invest all about money instead of wasting it on just like these things that are just marketed to people. Like, you can look better, do this and do that. And it's, I don't know, it makes me a little sad, but I also, it's your body, your choice. I have no judgments. It just makes me wish that our society was a little bit more just grateful for being alive, and you know, some of the most gorgeous women I know, they're like in their late 70s, they're glowing, they're filled with life. You know, like this one woman, like she still smokes, like she's living her like she enjoys her life, like she's just like
That's so
No,
cool.
but
She's
she's
like,
like radiant with energy
yeah,
in life. And that's definitely my goal is like, how do I stay engaged, active, involved, supporting other creators too, like supporting you, supporting Jen, supporting my
yeah,
friends in this space.
yeah. Thank you.
You know, being a mentor to people. Like I host this kind of informal crypto kind of sort of onboarding and sort of questions for this women's group called
Yeah.
Hermanas, which is a global women's group that started during the pandemic. And I want to create kind of a safe space where it's not recorded, it's not anywhere, but it's just like
Yeah. A
I call it
place.
crypto therapy. It's like, why are things happening the way they're happening? And
Oh, talk
you know,
therapy. That's a thing. Talk therapy is totally a thing.
yeah, but it's more like crypto therapy for people. Like
Oh,
it's more about like all of these decentralized applications and AI and like what you can build. And actually, you know what? Maybe I should do a Clawbot seminar and charge a
should.
reasonable amount of money. I always want to make things free for people that really can't afford things because
Right.
access, I don't want to restrict access. I hate gatekeepers. I hate
Right.
like, you know, if you
Right.
don't join this multi-thousand level program, you're
I
not going to
know.
reach enlightenment. Oh
I know.
no,
Oh
like,
no. FOMO. Here we go
and
again.
especially this digital, like, look at us, we're talking for free.
Yeah,
You're
we
in
are.
Florida, I'm in New York. In like the 50s, this would be like $100 phone call.
Oh my gosh, it'd be so expensive.
And I wouldn't
See,
see you. I just hear you and it'd be all
right?
crackly.
But you have to realize, you have value, Fiona. You have so much value over the years. You've built this up. You are highly educated. You have high energy. I'm just saying, you are one of these few people that do need to charge, right? You need to make a
No,
living as
absolutely,
well.
absolutely.
So it's like,
I
how do
absolutely,
you
I'm
find the
gonna
balance?
absolutely do a custom open claw onboarding
You should.
for this Hermanas group, and I'll charge.
Yeah,
I'll charge, but I'll also offer a few scholarships too.
that's a
Because
great
like I
idea.
said, like I
Awesome.
do want it to be accessible. And you
Mhm.
know, it's people could learn this by going on a YouTube video, but
Right.
sometimes
It's not the same.
it's not the same. And also
Mhm.
there's like an intimidation factor. Everybody pretty much showing it on YouTube are men. No
That's
offense to men, but not that women need to learn from other women, but also a
right.
place where they can be like, oh, this isn't working. What should I do? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Or like
troubleshooting, like an
I
IT,
have this
basically.
specific need that I need to. I'm going to keep iterating with this for the next month, and then I'm going to and I'm gonna do the TikTok, and then
You do.
I will do that because
Do it.
even if OpenClaw isn't the AI like, self-running AI standard in
Mhm.
a year or even two, just learning how to integrate it into your workflow, into whatever you're doing, trying to do it as securely as possible, not giving it too many permissions, maybe setting up a whole new system,
Mm.
that old computer you have lying around, setting it up on that, on a virtual machine where you can really isolate it, setting up a new email.
Mhm.
I don't know, but I also have one of those like it was actually ironic during the security conference at ETH Denver. I have Norton LifeLock because of identity theft.
Oh,
And I got an alert that someone tried to open a bank account using my social security number and name. And I was like, all my
crazy.
credit I think is locked. Well, I rechecked that it was locked, but it
Right.
was like I was like, oh, how ironic. Am I getting hacked by someone at the security conference right now?
I've always thought those Norton or McGiffey, all those little,
That's why, yeah, they
programs that
need
supposedly help you, I feel like they're in a scam in itself, because they just like
they
draw.
do, but they
Mhm.
are also another line of defense.
Are
Especially for
they?
malware, identity theft, and tracking. I mean, everyone's data is on the dark
Oh,
web. Every
right? Everyone's, and they're all phishing scams. Even if it's not crypto related, you'll still get phishing scams on so many other different ways if you go online. I think that's what
oh,
a big
every day.
reason. Yeah, every day, not in crypto, and every day. I was talking with Russell with myunicorn.eth. He's one of the chairmen of SporkDAO.
Oh yeah,
Russ,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I interviewed him for the podcast. It'll come out later, fam. But he was telling me there's phishing scams. They're everywhere, and it's like you have to be vigilant. You have to have that security. You got to have your seed phrase written down. You know, you have to, as much as we want that privacy too, we have to always know that once we're online, that's kind of an afterthought, right? Like people need our information so we can do things. Google, the only reason we're having free connection, right? Free videos, because they're data mining our information, right? Like everything is being data mined. So even though we like it or not, you know, Google has probably one of the largest catalogs for information, right? So we always have to be cognizant about that. We always have to realize, you know, it doesn't, like, you can say whatever you want to say at the end of the day, because as long as you're authentic, right? As long as you're true to yourself, that's what brings true meaning to our conversations, right? Of how we're connecting with each other. And so at the same time, yeah, we want that privacy, we want the security, but we have to know that it's not possible with technology. It just doesn't work together unless you have found a resolution with that, Fiona. Like I haven't, like I've just given up that, you know.
I mean, listen, it's only a matter of time before you click on a phishing link. It's just
right?
because they mask themselves as the bank, as your phone, as things you interact with. That's why I kind of don't really even go on my email. Like I have my alerts. I know my credit card bill,
right,
on auto,
sure,
whatever. And I keep all my, you know, bank, anything having to do with money, it's on a dumb phone. It's not, doesn't have a phone number.
Smart.
Everything's on a different phone number. And you just have to kind of parse your life. It's like you have your computer where you're clicking on links, doing research, you know, chatting with friends on X, whatever. And I mean, but even the most like powerful, secure people get hacked, you know?
See, it's like, when does it end? It doesn't end. You just have to like give over.
Everybody has been hacked once. Like I've definitely been hacked once.
I've been hacked. I've had my wallet drained. I've
been hacked twice. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had
in
an
this
ETH
space.
wallet.
And it was in the beginning where like I wasn't really sure what I was doing and I was playing around with stuff. I was like, oh, this is cool. Let's check this out. You know, like you know, like Discord, like do not put Discord on anything where you have your wallet, any of that.
No.
Because Discord is blazing filled with phishing.
Yes.
And like even people that you know, like even their account can get hacked. And now with the digital, with the AI voice, like you could get a phone call, like I could get a phone call sounding like my daughter saying, oh, you know, I'm in, like even putting this on YouTube, my voice is out there too. I could be. So it's good to have like security protocols within your family, within your special relationships that like you know, can confirm that person is
real.
Say they are, because voice, there is nothing unique now. Everything is mined. Everything, you know, bots are. Yes. Like I just try. My daughter really likes sneakers, and she has like some birthday money she wanted to spend on sneakers, and Nike's like, we're making sure no bots are sniping this, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sure there's bots that you just don't know are bot. Like it's hard to tell now what's a bot and what's human, and even these AI agents can even solve CAPTCHA puzzles.
Oh, the CAPTCHA ones, yeah, to avoid. Yeah, they're gonna have to
confirm that they're not robot. They can solve.
They can solve those. So I guess everything's gonna move to like 2FA, right? Is it the 2FAs? They can't break into 2FAs.
Yes, but they can. If you give them access to two-factor authentication, they can authenticate for you.
Damn, that's scary.
Yeah, it'll.
I wouldn't ever trust them with my 2FA. I'm sorry. I'd have to.
The guy who I learned from at ETH Denver said that he gave his agents access to crypto wallets, and that they were that's definitely like
I'm not
something
there yet.
I would do in a very environment. They would be on a budget.
Right.
It would be on a budget.
Sure.
And it would be for something very specific, like an arbitrage play, or like some kind of like you know, one specific thing, like your budget's $20 and you got this crypto, and go do it and let's see how it turns out.
And make me money.
It'd be an experiment. I often joke that I don't learn about things unless I spend money on them, and that is true to an extent, because once you've spent money, you are invested in it. and
True.
you're kind of like, you want to learn about it because you've spent money, if that makes sense.
Right.
But there's plenty of free things I've learned plenty from as well.
YouTube's a great resource. You
Oh my
can learn
God.
anything on YouTube.
Although you have to watch out, because on YouTube there are all these companies that will like hire the tech pro to
Right.
push their service, and
Right.
then you have to really do your own research, because then you go on Reddit, you ask GPT to do more deep dive of like problems, and there's all these problems people are having with this service, you know, and like, so maybe it's not a good fit for you. So there's a lot of like, despite the tech, you still need to be your own best advocate, like do your own research. Like, we really live in the age of, you know, don't trust anybody, don't trust me, don't trust you, verify for yourself, do your own research. Like, don't let anyone sell you anything until you've like, and you know, anything with skin cream, crypto, news, even news, like all this AI slop that's being put out now.
Right.
Like,
Been
you
hearing
know,
that lately.
to get engagement. Like the other day I was on TikTok and it was like Shakira dead, and I'm like, nuh-uh, she's not dead, no way. I would get a New York Times alert.
Right.
That'll be interesting too. As a journalist, I'm blockchain use of verifying and a kind of what's it called, like verifying and recommending journalists, like and minting as NFTs stories, so you know origin, you know who did it, sort of that open, very transparent, also supply chain of news, like where it originated, who filed it, who's endorsing it, so you know, like where does it lean in the political spectrum. I mean, that's going to be a huge use of journalism in the future. I was at a hackathon where that was the project, and I was like, oh my God, we got to build this. And they were like kids, they were like, yeah, we just did it to like win the whatever. And I was like, that is an awesome product, and that's really what's needed, because these traditional outlets, like you see, like, you know, they're, some of them are just purely to push a certain political agenda, which is ridiculous. News should be as impartial as possible, and the source you get them from, and you know, but now with AI, it's like, who knows what percentage of journalism right now is being written by AI?
Oh man, don't even get me started. All right. I feel like journalism died in the 60s, but you know, that's another story for another day.
We can keep talking and talking and talking. I appreciate you being patient with my ADHD conversation.
No, this has been a grand time. This has been huge. Fiona, I really appreciate you. I have one more question though I wanted to just throw at you before we end the interview, because you were talking about psychedelics earlier, about your open experience, and I wanted to follow up with you, and I kind of forgot, I dropped the ball, but I picked it up again, because I was like, you were at ETH Denver, you're at the Zen room, you remember the mushroom guys in the back, correct? What did you think about that? I'm sure you've tripped on mushrooms before, but just shed me some light about how psychedelics have really opened you up to, I guess, a new life, right? Because we're talking about new beginnings, right? 111 here. So share me a little bit about, I guess, your psychedelic experience, and then also like just overall, like what's your takeaway? Do you feel like everyone needs this to kind of like create a new beginning, you know, something to that effect?
I think that people, especially, oh shoot, sorry, my iPad is complaining that it's low on batteries.
Oh my gosh, we're almost done, iPad.
I think it'll last.
Okay.
So I think anybody that's experienced trauma in life, you know, that trauma, it gets stored all in the body and in the subconscious.
Yeah.
And what psychedelics do, and when you're doing it in this therapeutic context, you're doing it with someone that's like babysitting you, basically. And I did a Vipassana, which is a 10-day silent meditation, which is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. But sitting there with yourself, with your brain, no tech, no, you know, just, you're not talking to anybody. You see how much I like to talk. You really kind of go through this journey. And then afterwards, I did this hero's dose mushroom trip with an advisor. And it really opened up my subconscious to, you know, my mother's had all these issues with body shaming herself, body shaming me, you know, just throughout my whole childhood. And it really unlocked this immense amount of gratitude that I have for my health, for my kids, for what my body's been able to do. And it set me on this path of being free of this like stigma. And it's a society stigma too, about just like, you know, I'm curvy, I'm, you know, not a certain way. And I've always known that changing it would never fix it, because then once you change one thing, you want to change something else. And I think this self-love, and we all work on it every day, and it's necessary. And I think it's I don't want to say the key to happiness, but it definitely, like, feeling good about yourself is like the number one thing you can possibly do in your life. And I think psychedelics are something that's been stigmatized by governments. They see it as like, oh, people just want to get high and party and whatever, and that's fine. Let them do that. But also let magical, natural, medicinal, historically medicinal. I mean, there's all kinds of psychedelics. It doesn't have to be mushrooms. There's this documentary I saw about use of MDMA to help people that have experienced acute trauma.
Oh, wow.
And you know, I've also done ketamine therapy too. I had a repressed childhood thing come up, and I'm not going to go too much into it, but the reformatting of the way my brain was processing at that time was really powerful. And without that kind of innovation, it wouldn't have been possible for me to kind of snap out of that. And it really set me up for success. And I've been able to, you know, and just being in touch with your own brain and how your brain works. Like for women, the hormonal cycle is a very strong factor in how your brain is, and also the aging female brain too, like going through, I'm in perimenopause right now. And so knowing about all these things, being able to use the right resources and being open to it too. And sometimes mushrooms don't have an effect on people. Like I recommended it to my mom, and she didn't have she did a very, very high dose and it did nothing to her.
No trip. Yeah.
Maybe it's not for everybody, but I was also very open after this meditation thing that I did. I highly recommend people look into it. It is a by donation thing. So if you can't afford very much, or you can afford to donate a lot, it's very accessible. It's a little bit like a little dated in the sense that they show videos of the leader who's like, he died in like the 80s or 90s or something.
Oh, wow.
But the principles of it are basic. Like you sit with yourself, you pay attention to your breath, and you do that several times over the day. You eat very nice, like light vegetarian food. I can go back now, since I did it once as like a server, and do the course and feed people, which is my favorite thing. So I'm gonna make space to do that again. It's definitely like, yes, it's great to be engaged. I'm doing all these things. I'm going to ETH Denver. I'm doing this hackathon, but then also let me pull back for a minute, regroup, take that time. I think it's okay. It's okay to detox. I joke that I'm retoxing now because I'm like so heavy into all this tech stuff.
I know.
And you don't have to be perfect. We're not perfect. We're human. We make mistakes. You have to be forgiving. And if you need to slow down and rest and shut off everything for the weekend, do it. Like, there's nothing saying, like, all these kids, like all these lawsuits now against social media are heartbreaking.
Oh,
They lost their lives over something so stupid like Instagram, but for them in their own like bubble, and not having the experience and the perspective and protection against it, it's caused people to lose their life, and it's devastating. So it is a balance, right? It is a balance, evolving, engaging in tech, and learning and being out there, but then also having perspective to be like, all right, I need a break. I need to meditate for whatever, even though that was really hard, because like all this stuff comes up for you and you're like,
there's
and like
so much.
your phone, like you can't, sometimes the human reactions when you're going through something hard, you distract yourself, right? As opposed to then just sitting with the discomfort, and it's good for you to do, even though it's really hard.
It is, but just sitting and just being present with yourself alone, I think, is massive, because that's when your brain starts to think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you get creative. having a boring time where you sit and do nothing, then your brain has to churn something, right? And you start
It's
really
true.
thinking.
It's true. And in
Mhm.
this instant, you're forced to just be with your breath. You know, you just breathe and you sit and you breathe and you walk around. It's amazing how heightened your senses get when you're just doing that and you're not having like screens. Like the world really sparkles. Like every leaf sparkles. Like it's a really wild experience. And they're global too. The Vipassana organization, it's spelled Vipassana, I think.
Mhm.
It's a global organization. It's everywhere.
Okay.
And yeah, they make meditation very accessible, and I recommend it.
I
Even though
love that.
don't expect to text me after you're done. Like that was so much fun. I wouldn't call it fun. I would call it a journey and enlightening.
Yeah.
And it was an important part of my growth for sure as a human being.
I
So,
love that.
yeah.
I love that, Fiona. Thank you so much. Where can people find you if they want to contact you, or like give me your socials? Where can people get with you?
Give me a social security number and seed phrase.
Not that far. Not that far. You know what I'm saying. Email. I don't know. Website.
I am at Fiona, Fiona.
Okay.
And then my last name is Aboud, A as in apple, B as in boy, OUD as in dog. I'm all over Twitter, Farcaster, Instagram, TikTok. I'm my name everywhere just to make things easy.
Okay. Perfect.
And if you reach out to me on there, maybe say you saw me on this, so I don't know that you're a scammer.
This is a great way to verify, right? Building credibility through a podcast. This is huge. You know, this we're true. Real. We're not AI. So this is another reason I do what I do.
Exactly. I know. And I appreciate, when people reach out, like if we have something in common for them to, hey, we, know so-and-so, because you really don't know these days. And I'm always happy to be a mentor and to be a resource. Like let's
definitely
grow.
And TikTok, you're gonna be on TikTok too. So I'm gonna help you grow on that.
3 videos, but I need to have my AI agent help me organize and figure out like how to build that out. I do feel like there's something very intimate about TikTok. It's a very like, I feel like I really connect with people even though I don't know anybody. Like I know 0 people I follow in person, but there's something about that format, maybe because it's like confessional or it's immediate. It even though I'm gonna put it on Instagram too, because the lesson I've learned from watching other people grow is it just needs to be everywhere. You need to put yourself out, and it's scary to put yourself out because
I know.
People are haters and
judgers,
people want to cut other people down if they're feeling bad about themselves. So anyway, but I'm gonna put myself out there more on TikTok just to explain this process of building this new product and teaching people about these new AI tools. And
I love that. I always say TikTok is for the creators, right? You are a creator, Fiona. So I think TikTok's a great platform to be creating your creations, and we're all content creators at the end of the day, right, fam? If not on live like we're doing now or pre-taped, through our posts, through our videos, through our photos, texts, everything. When you post, you're a creator, right? So with that being said, Fiona, thank you again for coming on 111. This has been an amazing experience.
Thank you, Donald. I appreciate you.
I appreciate
for giving me this platform to speak about all the crazy things I'm working
on. Of course. And we're definitely going to cook later for sure. I'm gonna definitely, we'll hit you up. We'll get started on TikTok and mutual connections and Vegas and so many things we have in plan. I have this whole digital nomad experience that I didn't even get to share with you, but we'll pick it up later. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's my interview. It's not yours. This is your interview.
I'm going to reach out to, I'm going to connect you with some of my Vegas friends.
Yeah. Yes. Perfect. Let's do it. So take care, Fiona.
Have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.